So is everybody as ready as you're gonna be for holidays, or you saying, oh my gosh, it's in a couple of weeks?
I don't even think it's a couple of weeks anymore. I think it's like down to days, 10 days, 12 days,
Is it?
whatever. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the way it goes. Oh, here's some more. Sometimes,
I know Deb. She's from Redlands. Hi, Deb.
Can you hear me? No.
there we go. Well, we're expecting more folks, but if it's all right with you, I'm going to keep looking to the top of my screen. That's where it's allowing me to admit people. And sometimes there'll be a whole batch of them, and that can work. So you folks probably know by now, I'm Karen Vanderwerken, and I am the AAUW California Fund Director. We have there's Jackie. We have some members of our fund committee on tonight, and let's see. I'll say where they are, but I thought screens are different. So where I have on my screen may not be where you see them, but my top left is Elizabeth Bathgate. And Liz, where is your branch?
Hayward, Castro Valley, Northern California.
Okay, and on the right-hand screen of mine is Catherine Brown.
Hi.
And she's Redlands, right?
Right.
And she has been gracious enough to handle the job of, oh, here's some more in. So let's see if I want to view. I want you to come in, admit. There we go. They're working. Of doing the speakers for the various branches. So, and we're getting certainly a lot of interest on that, aren't we?
Yes.
Hi, Lynn. Let's see, need to unmute. I'm gonna.
Hello. Hi.
And you too, there we go. I think that's set up automatic for our last one. As I get the hang of this, maybe I'll be able to set it up where you aren't muted, and that will ask you to mute later. But at any rate, this is a system that more or less works. Let's see. There we go. So I'll keep stopping now and then to get some more people coming in. It's doing well. Okay, so I'm hoping that you take a look at you're getting the monthly reports from National on the funding. I'm not 100% sure here, but it seems to be that if you don't have a donation that's put in, or you haven't had one the past month, it may not send you a report. I've not been able to get what I consider a definitive answer on that, but please look at your reports if you're the person responsible for that, and let us know if those are correct, or if you're not getting them, any of that. Let us know so that we can press some buttons and get it done. It seems to be working in a more automated fashion. So that's it. I think most of you have been on here before. there's the reaction button. Again, on mine, it's sort of on the bottom left bar. On yours, it might be somewhere else, but there's a button called reactions. And in that, a really fun one is raise your hand. And that lets us know it's an automated thing. And that way we can stop and call on you, for your questions. That works well. If you have things that you want to ask or things you want to tell us, also on the bottom bar on mine, it's more towards the left, it says chat. That's a great place to just type something in. And as much as is possible, Catherine Brown is going to try to, capture that and answer it if she knows an answer. And if we don't get that answered, I would say we'll try to capture it. If we don't get that, then send me an email either during or after the meeting, and I will get back to you. And that is AAUW Fund dash, let's see, AAUW dash ca.org. So all of the fund positions, we've got aauw-ca.org, and then whatever the position is, if it's the branch leadership or if it's membership or something else, they've tried to simplify that, so you can have a pretty good stab at what you're doing. We have also Judy Haran is on our committee, and Sharon Westifer, and they were not able to make it tonight. So if you have a speaker request, there's a waiting room. Oh, there's Judy now. Never mind, she's coming in. So Catherine, you want to give this group just sort of an overall on where we are on the speaker request?
We've had probably, I think, 17 or 18 requests. There are 3 outstanding now. 2 of them, Jacqueline and Jennifer, have both requested the same speaker on different dates and are both waiting for her to get her work schedule. She's a midwife, and she has hospital rotations, and we're waiting for her work schedule to determine which Saturdays in February she's free to speak, if any, and I think she will be. It's just a matter of, sometimes work schedules aren't done until a little closer to the date. I know Lynn has had a speaker placed, and things are going quite well. The biggest issue seems to be transportation. Speakers not having adequate vehicle, adequately safe vehicles to drive places. A few people have scheduled their meetings in weekday evenings, and that's kind of hard for a number of the speakers to do in person, but they've been gracious about accepting virtual speakers. For the most part, the speakers are very happy about being asked. They're very pleased. So it's transportation is the hardest nut for most of them to work out for the in-person. And frankly, almost everybody wants an in-person speaker, except for a few branches that knowing that, like, if you're having your meeting at 6:30 on Tuesday evening and you live in an urban area, it can be pretty hard to get an in-person speaker. And so they've been gracious about accepting the virtual speakers.
They have, and when we did an orientation with them in the late summer, I think it was August, several of them, they were very excited about the opportunities. Instead of being terrified about it, they were excited. And, a few of them said, will all of us get picked? And we're kind of saying, not likely, but.
No, because we've had like, what I said, 18 requests, and we have 31 or 32 speakers, and two of them now are doing 3 presentations.
Wow.
So I'm hoping that if any more come in, maybe they'll ask for different people.
Yeah, we try to spread the good news there, but we have very good response, and we've initiated a new thing this year. It's an electronic evaluation form. So Catherine will be, looking at that once you've had your program, is that fill out that form. We always like to say, how did it go? And that way it's not between you and the speaker at that point, it's us. And that's more or less so that we can just kind of review it at the end. I always like to say best practices, what's working well, what doesn't work. And, our fund committee will be doing that a little bit later on.
Well, I was just going to say, we'll be sending out that evaluation until pretty much just before the same week that your speaker is coming, because I don't want to send it now and have it get lost in the email. So, for example, there's a branch, no one is there from that branch tonight, but they have a speaker on Martin Luther King weekend. That's the next one coming up in January, and I'll probably send it a couple of days before she comes so it doesn't get lost. And so there are a lot of people having their speakers in February. They'll get theirs just a few days before the speaker comes, and that way it'll be at the top of their email list to fill out after the meeting.
Thanks so much. And Catherine is doing an outstanding job here. Is like, it's not just cookie cutter, we have found. There probably are a half a dozen things reliably that can and do happen. And sometimes things are more difficult to line up than others. But we can assure you, we certainly make every effort. And the students they've been very responsive with us. They want to do these. It's just a matter of the scheduling. And we say we found the weekday and week evenings is like, it shouldn't surprise us that they're in class. That's what we gave them the scholarship for. They should be in class doing some things. A lot of them are just starting their careers. So there's that. I see Judy Horan has come in. Hi,
Yes,
Judy.
I'm sorry. It was computer. My Wi-Fi went nuts, but I'm here.
Oh, we understand that. I know that we've asked you this before, but it's, here it's to count on this particular year, donations and things have to be in for legacy giving, though, that you're our guru on that. That can be any time, but would you like to give, just a quick note on that? Some of you probably know about it. Some of you, I hope, are legacy people.
Well, if not, you can call me. Anyway, yeah, we just had our call this afternoon, and so I'm really AAUWing today, which is wonderful. And the Legacy Circle was started in the 70s as our planned giving arm of AAUW, and we have almost 800 members at this time, and we're always looking for more. And it gives you an opportunity to leave whatever thing you have. You can do insurance, you can do stocks, you can do wills, whatever trusts that you have. Lots of people do very different things to leave money to AAUW, and all you do is fill out a one-page application, and it simply asks you for your information. It doesn't ask you can put in whatever amount. We have no minimum, and you can change it at any time. I know I started in the 70s, and I've upped my donation or made it different over the last 40 years. And so you can do that. And California has 2 people. Charmin Gehring is in the north and I'm in the south. And we're on, if you just hit your California button, we're on the directory in California. and we're also on the directory in at the national office. So we take people anytime, and we would love to have more members. We're always competing. Of course, we have the most, but we're the biggest state, so we should have the most, but we're always competing with each other. But and we're doing a series of video seminars that are coming up. One's coming up next month, so you'll all be getting information about that. So if you know people interested in joining, please ask at your branch, and if you yourself are not a member, then please contact me and I'll talk to you about it. But it's a great thing to do, and we know that you're asked for money from a lot of places, but we know if you've been in AUW for a long time that you really have, know that this is the heart of our organization. So I just, give yourself a Christmas present, join the Legacy Circle.
Yeah, well, and please promote it to
Yes.
your branch, to other members. There's that kind of ongoing misperception here that, oh, you gotta have bucks. You
No,
have to have a lot of money in order to do this. And it's kind of like, and it wasn't, I got fund director because I've known about Legacy, but I thought I had to have bucks.
Well,
And I still can't find any.
yeah, we wish we had.
Retired too, and I've dug just about everywhere, and that's not happening. But then last year I says, well, wait a minute, I have retirement money, but I don't want to get into that. And I realized I still had a life insurance policy out there. So I just sent in, and I realized I could change. Now, my daughter doesn't even know I have this policy, and she probably could care less. And until I'm gone, then she might care. But I simply changed the beneficiary on that to part to my daughter and part to AAUW. And it was just a form. And then, the insurance company, so we've got all that. It couldn't have been simpler. And didn't cost me a thing.
That's for sure.
So,
Time for sure. And
and
Charmin and I are also available for branch visits. So if somebody wants us to come, let us know.
I got a form actually just this afternoon. I was in our leadership board meeting was last evening, and one of the board members had asked about giving stocks and how's that work. I hunted everywhere, couldn't find that. Our former president, Diane Owens, was on the call, and she contacted her people through advancement. And so I got this right before the meeting. So how do I do this? It's not going to show. I have to be.
Yeah, I can see it.
Right
Yeah.
there. All right, it says gift of stock. This
Gift
couldn't
of
be simpler. If anybody feels that yourself or somebody in your branch would like to see this, this couldn't be simpler. It's like they've listed, and this is from the development department at AEW National. So it's like, here's the firm, here's the stuff, put your name on it, the tax ID, it's got all, it's just right here. It's not even a web, it's just a form. So that would be one of those things that you could email me about, call me or email me. And because now I have downloaded it, so I've got it on my computer. Next thing would be to get it on our state documents on here. But it's like I had not seen this before, and lots of other donations, but I'd never seen one about just gift of stock. And so this couldn't be simpler and clearer. So we'll try to get that information out.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judy, and thanks for the work that you do with this. This is,
It's a labor of love.
Help AAUW when we're not here.
That's right.
Meetings anymore. Somebody else will be.
Right.
Our final peer group meeting is going to be February 8th. So we're skipping January's. We have other meetings to do, but it'll be pretty much the same format. And I've chosen that date because the state name gift that you can turn somebody in if you wish to the state name gift is due March 1st. And the branch name gifts aren't due till March 31st. And forms for that are on our AAUW Fund website. So go to the California website. We have a tab. So across the top, there's a tab on there, and one says AUW Fund, and that takes you to our page and has the documents that you can download or share, about doing a name gift or state name gift. And we've added some additional things to the state name gift on here in terms of the type of leader that you want there. It's not just Susan Smith was in my thing. She did a great job, on whatever she did for my branch, this year. And it's like, well, that's not enough for a state name gift. Make her a branch name gift, because you have to have a broader thing. So we've added some wording to that area so that we aren't getting bounce backs on that. Couple more things I'm going to throw out to you folks then. The assessments that we do from the branches, we've gotten those in. We got $5,630. And that's, I think, being in process to go to national, and that will be for honoring, actually. The fund committee decided they wanted to honor Diane Owens on here, but it will go to greatest needs. Look, here's somebody in waiting room. Let's get that. So any rate, so that's good. Where we are right now on our California giving is 251,808, and that was as of November 6th. So that's
We must have more now.
yeah. So I just want to remind people is that one way of giving, and again, I'm presuming that you'll pass this on to your folks too, is consider doing monthly donations. We do have some people, who do that. They'll say, well, I can give $10 a month, or I can do $50 a month, or something like that. And so that's another way, to get that done. That's pretty much what I have in the word of notes, but we'd like to hear from you. Looking for hands, looking for hands. And if you're muted, Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, talking about the named gift honorees, that's 750 apiece, and the October 1st number wasn't looking real great for my branch. I'm expecting maybe tomorrow to learn what the November 1st number was, but is there any way to get the December 15th number and soon, and know if I need to twist some arms or something to get that whole.
My sense is we get that number. Yeah, and again, it's outsourced, to their company, and it is getting faster. Like we got the October one in November 6th. That's the fastest I've ever seen it come up with, and that I got it from the state used too. I usually have to ask them, but you should have just received yours too, Lynn.
Well, I checked again today. I don't have the November 30th number yet.
Trying to think, was this October?
I have the October 30th number.
Yeah, I'll look for you too, okay? And if I don't see it, I'll ask Tremaine at National if he could look. And thank you.
I appreciate it because I'm
Yeah.
I've been on a roll with getting my branch to get some names, and then it's the October 30th number didn't look real great.
Yeah.
Oh, but you asked earlier, I did get a September report with no change from October, from
Okay.
August. So I at least got the no change report.
Good, good, thank you. Because I don't have any way of knowing that, what happened out in the branch, so.
Yeah.
Anybody else? No questions? Anything you want to share? Did you do anything for fundraising that was worthy of mentioning? Roseanne? You're muted. Unmute.
There, got it. Sorry.
That's okay.
Um, I have been sending in my funds certified. But I don't have any report back. How long does it take before we know they get there?
Did it go to the website? I mean, to the PO box? Is that where you said it?
Yes.
No.
It took them over a month for me to be for me to find out they'd gotten it.
How
Over
do
a
you
month.
know?
It's ridiculous.
Roseanne, what branch are you with?
Danville, Alamo, Walnut Creek.
Okay,
I know a couple sent them with their IRAs, but I also sent in some checks and I just don't know if they got them.
okay, these are the kind of things we can't fix it if we don't know what's happening with it. And Tremaine's been very, very responsive. They are trying to get things moved over to an automated process. And I don't envy them that. I do feel that at some point in the future that it will work and it will work smoothly. One of the concerns that I have had about the donations is unless people write it on their check, or if they're doing it by credit card, they indicate that they want it credited to XYZ branch. They don't know that. And we do have that contribution fund form. So when you as a fund director or the finance person, somebody send it in that way, then it's clear to them how they have to do it. Now, it also is a manual process. It means it gets in the stack. So, and this time of year, they should be getting bigger stacks, and so it might take a while. But Roseanne, I'll check into this and see what I can find out. Say we need some answers here.
Okay, but
Anybody
so
else?
they don't notify us then when they get the checks.
No.
No,
Okay.
because the manual checks, they really don't do any processing at the office. The funding for more staff is just not available, so that's sent over. And we had them, since there was, more than a few mix-up last year, we had some meetings, some discussions, and we had them write up a process for if something was missing or something, how long does it take when you get a check to get it processed? Because they don't do that at the office. That goes to the other location, and then it has to be processed, by the
Well,
accounting.
is there a way we could look online and see if they got them? No? Okay.
I don't think so, but I
There
will
should
check.
be.
And I'm going to be checking with Tremaine Parquet He's my go-to person at national. It doesn't mean that you can't go to them, but since I've been working with California, and California is a big state, we're the biggest donors, to national. I think using the clout, of our board here makes them go, oh, let's answer that one. It doesn't mean that they aren't answering yours, but they're also doing the whole country. So we don't know how many hundreds of people might be ahead of you in all fairness, but
Okay,
I think we
okay,
get to
okay.
the top of the thing, so
Well, is everybody sending them in certified? I didn't know how,
no, I don't think
no,
so.
you just mail it with the plane?
If your mailing is certified, aren't you getting something back from the post office that tells you
No.
they got it?
Certified doesn't do that. I paid $5 for certified, and if I paid another 5, then I get something back.
Well, I don't
So
know. I
I
would.
didn't want to do that. I just,
I know,
Okay.
I understand,
Okay.
but yeah.
so they
Okay.
gave me the little green slips, and they said I can look at the post office to make sure it was delivered to that place. But that doesn't mean they picked them up, so.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll get right on that. Peggy.
No, I was just gonna say, going forward, you can imagine processing hundreds of thousands of checks. Not too many organizations do that anymore, and so I think you're going to see more and more encouragement to pay online, because when you go to the AUW website, or like our particular branch actually has a button on our website that directs you to AUW Fund National. But to encourage your members to please pay online, the money gets there right away. You
get a
don't have
receipt
lost
right
checks, you don't have processing fees. So
There's
getting
one
away
problem
from
with that.
checks is the way of the future.
If you're sending in an IRA donation, it's gotta be a check.
Yes.
I know
and-
there's no other way to do it.
Right, and I don't, Liz, I also don't think really large contributions. A member might have a different idea if they're making a really large contributions, but the average contribution to AUW Fund, the most efficient way is honestly to do it online.
Well,
and
my problem
Go
My
ahead.
problem is the branch, somehow in the last few years, they were told, don't give to funds, give to Tech Trek and give to scholarships. Scholarships has 18,000 in it. Tech Trek now has 4,000, and I think all I've collected is about 4. 2,000 in checks, and I think there's 2,000 in IRAs, and I can't seem to convince them that it's important.
Well,
I
So
don't know
in other
what to
words,
do.
yeah, you're having the conflict between contributing to your branch and
Yeah.
their projects versus national. And I think all of us have that, what do you call it? A double contribution or whatever. We're being asked to contribute to both because they're both important.
Well, they are, and it's probably a poor example, but at least for me, it communicates is like, but we're using the AAUW brand and the mission. And this is what we believe in, what we support. So we need to support it financially. And the AAUW Fund, the Greatest Needs Fund, is the only one that does not have restrictions to it. If I donate to Tech Trek, if I donate to whatever scholarship my place has, it is that then that money has to be earmarked for whatever the donor purpose. But here's in the unrestricted is that's why they ended up calling it Greatest Needs, is that they have to look at all of the things making demands on them. And if something has been really important to the membership, on here and that thing is not being supported enough, they can move some money over here, gives them some flexibility. And, you know, it's, as I say, if we're going to believe in AUW and work for it, we need to donate some money to it, you know. That's for sure. And,
Well, we did apply last year for a 501c3 so that we could take the money and divide it up where we want. But the government still hasn't given us the 501c3.
Oh,
We haven't
wow.
heard back for months. And so the money that was earned had to be earmarked for scholarships because of the way it was done.
Oh,
And we can't move that money into any other funds. And now we're struggling to get the 12,000 we need for Tech Trek because we're committed to sending 12 girls. And so that's been a real priority over everything else.
okay. It's good to hear from you. And Peggy, we always appreciate, you know, your views here because you're in a position, you know, to see and hear things that the rest of us don't. Lynn, you have another question?
Well, no, sort of continuing on this, I have a problem writing bulletin articles saying, you know, give to the greatest needs. It's all flexible and wonderful, and it fits our mission. When we give to Tech Trek, they can look in September when we invite the girls, and they can say, "Those are girls, and I paid for them to go to camp." And when we give to those local scholarships, which I came from another branch where local scholarships was heresy, but here they like local scholarships because they can go in May to a luncheon with the people and shake hands and say, "We wish you well." Now I am going to have an actual, real, live, virtual AAUW fellow come, but this is money that was donated 20 years ago because now we're just doing that off the endowment from 20 years ago, and we're being flexible and spending money here and there. And I can never find out where it just recently I learned we were doing some money on Get Out the Vote or something to try to say, this is what your money goes for. This is the part of the mission it's worked on lately. This is what we look at doing right soon. It's a little bit of an advertising problem to put it in the newsletter. This is why you should support the mission by giving money that they can do anything they want with.
Yeah, Lynn, that's a really good point, to understand that, first of all, you've got all these wonderful projects at your branches and you want to fund those. So for example, you talk about Tech Trek and scholarships that are local. And then you have all the needs at national. And I think Karen's done a really good job of telling you what greatest needs goes for. For example, it goes for programs like research, public policy, communications, Start Smart, Work Smart. And so one of the things is when you ask people to donate to AUW Greatest Needs, I think it is important that we clarify once again exactly where that money is going so that you feel it's worthwhile.
yeah. Very
Yeah,
good.
I've come across, you know, a few documents this year, and some of them we probably put out through our board to board that comes out monthly. But I've written down to, you know, put out, you know, some of the documents to you. I don't know if they'll be of any help to you this calendar year, but you know, can always, you know, carry forth. As I say, if they believe in AUW and they can't, you know, and I understand the local scholarships and the Tech Trek, but you know, support the organization. Or we don't have an organization, and you know, then you aren't going to be doing scholarships in that way or the Tech Trek. And I agree, those things are easier to explain than the overall mission. They're a lot easier. So, but that's the way it is. Anybody else have any comments that you want to make on that topic or another one? Roseanne, you've got,
Well, I chose to give to American Fellowships because of that reason. And I explained when you give to the fellowships for the American women, then they go on to graduate studies, etc. And two branches asked me because I'm in both branches, and I told them why. And I see some people did it, but most of them still chose to go to greatest need.
Oh,
And I think it's because they were pushed by the letters.
well, okay.
good.
Well, it's their
Catherine?
choice.
Catherine?
Well, what I wanted to say was that sometimes, I mean, what my branch doesn't do it now because we found another way to raise money that we can donate, but to have an event that all the money from it is going to go to the Greatest Needs Fund, and that's it. A bridge scramble, a local, maybe have a local theater group that you could work out a partnership to have people pay a little extra and go to the theater, and then you have that money. Something entertaining or fun for people to do that they want to participate in, and the money that comes from that goes to the Greatest Needs Funds rather than people just write a check and give it.
Yeah.
And I think COVID probably really interrupted a bunch of those events that
Yeah.
we all liked
And
to
a lot
do.
of them haven't come back.
And they haven't come back, and that's a real shame. But that seemed to work well, to have an event, people pay money to have fun, and then the money goes, not just write us a check and we're a worthy cause, because how can you compete with Tech Trek? I mean, really, it's hard.
And the seed money for Tech Trek came from a grant out of research and projects.
Yes, it did. Research and projects, yes.
I
Mhm.
actually didn't even know that, so I'm sure
Yeah.
that there are plenty of people who don't know that, who don't
That was a long
understand
time
that.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Marie Walbeck's deal a long, long time ago. And I was on the national board and when that came through. So we were very excited to get that grant. It was wonderful. And then look what happened. It was great.
And it finally came to my attention, it's been there all along, but my attention this year that 100% of public policy funding, the national level, is from Greatest Needs Fund.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, the exception is sometimes public policy is doing the political side of it. I'm not sure, would it be the 2-minute activist or something? If they're pushing a particular bill, then our money can't, the Greatest Needs money can't support that. So it gets separated there. That's why there's both a C4 and a C3. And even the state of California has that. So that when they're doing things for public policy and they're trying to affect bills in California, they're operated under C4 and not the nonprofit. But all right. Anybody else have any issue that you want to bring to us this evening? It's getting kind of dark out, so you're not gonna go
It's
shopping.
night.
Know that. Yeah, so, Peggy?
I'm sorry I don't mean to take up too
Oh, we
much time.
love
I don't,
having you there. No.
well, no, I just want to thank you, to thank you and Karen and Catherine publicly for the support you gave me. I was one of the, our branch had always has a speaker for AAUW Fund early in November, and I think it's a problem. I think our branch needs to make it a little bit later because we're at the very front end and it's hard to, get a speaker and get the girls. I sort of had a panicky moment because we were assigned a girl and 3 days before our meeting, she still had not responded to my daily emails. And so I was obviously very upset. Karen and Catherine went into action to try to help me. I can't thank them enough. And lo and behold, on Saturday afternoon, our meeting was Tuesday, by the way. Saturday afternoon, this girl emerged and everything turned out okay. But I do want to thank them for how much they tried to help me with the, our general program.
Yeah, and thanks for sticking with it. And you had every right to be worried because she wanted to do it and then she just disappeared. She didn't take calls, emails, nothing. And it's like, so we were trying to find backups. I think Catherine was ready to come and speak. It's like, can I get a flight there? And I'll dig. I've surely got some tap shoes somewhere. We'll do something for this. And then she showed up and it was some fear of speaking or something. She froze. And
Yeah.
but it didn't affect the presentation. She went to the presentation, did such a wonderful job. And so this is also what we're here for. I said, this is so good for the girls, these young women, to be able to do this. I don't know if she'll have a similar freeze up next time she has to, to do something where it's like, just tell us you need a day's break or something. Don't just not call or text or email. That was very unusual behavior. And then it came out, she's shown she was truly amazing. And but that will go down if we're keeping records here. That is going to get on the top 10.
Well, you guys were just wonderful, and I hope everybody in the whole state knows how helpful you and
Thank you.
Catherine are.
That would be Catherine primarily. So, Jackie?
Oh, I was just going to say that a lot of the presenters don't read their email. That generation, I
Forget it.
Text.
the last 2 years. So send them a text, shoot them a text. And that usually gets their attention.
It's true. You have to get their attention, but often it's also short stuff like want to go to the movie, not the whole thing about the movie. That needs to be in a text or some other thing. But you're right. They don't often do that. So, and that's the way it is. We're different. And we also, we were shocked at that behavior of that one. We were pleased that it all turned out. I mean, it's just kind of like when the play went on, she was primed and ready and just endearing. But it's almost like, and they're young, most of them are, not 100%, but I'd say certainly 90% of them are very young women. Yeah. And it's like they don't know how to be courteous. They don't know that you how to respond. And I thought, oh my gosh, are we going to have to add?
Yes, we have to have courtesy.
Professional 101 as part of it. We may have to make that as a recommendation, going forward. So, Kathy, you've got a hand up.
Yeah, I put my hand up because we have a little bit of a problem at our chapter in that our records show that we're coming upon our 75th anniversary. But according to the California, we're not that old. Oh. And we have tried, Liz Delano, who is our treasurer right now, has tried over the years to get them to take a look at the original documents, and we can't get anybody to.
Okay, what branch are you, Kathy?
It's Madeira.
I can't say that Kathy and I can fix it, but we can certainly get it to the people and saying, can you know, is there somebody who can take a look at this and soon? Because we don't wait till they become 100.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, thank you.
But thank you, those are, you know, very good. Anything else? And if not,
Karen, can I have a second? I want to say hi to Joanne Brown. I haven't seen her in years. Hi, Joanne.
How are you, Judy?
I'm good. I'm still here and you look wonderful.
Thank you.
Good
You
to
as
see
well.
you. Yeah, I miss seeing everybody.
I do too.
yeah, this is one of the best things of it is that the last two meetings we've had, you folks have come back and said, it's really nice to be able to get to see the players, get to see some people from some other branches and like Judy just said, or somebody you haven't seen in a long, long time. And so
Wonderful.
that's good. All right, well, if we don't have anything else, we will adjourn this meeting and we'll be putting stuff out in the board to board. But we won't meet again this way. Our final meeting of the year would be the February 8th, and you'll get information on that. So be thinking about your branch name gift and be thinking about if you want to put somebody in for state name gift, be sure to look at that explanation that's on our California Fund part of the website, because it's not long, but there's a little description as to, and we used to have some people from the board nominate somebody else's on the board. We said, no, that ain't gonna happen. They have to serve and get off the board before they can get. So we put a few little rules down there that we thought would make this a little simpler. So thank you, ladies. I appreciate you so much.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, thank you.
I
Bye.
See you next year.
This is true. We won't see you until a year. Another year.